Comedy has long been a way to bring a different, lighter lens to heavy topics. That holds true for Palestinian-American comedian Sami Obaid, who has taken to the stage to spotlight the pain of the war in Gaza. Amna Nawaz has the story for our Arts and Culture series, Canvas.
Comedian Sami Obaid has built his career tackling the tough stuff, from politics to war.
The night that Israel attacked Iran, there was a spike in pizza sales right next to the Pentagon.
The former high school math teacher even jokes about that.
America's ranked 33rd in math in the world. Japan had to count that for us. It's pretty bad.
I think once I started doing math jokes, it just seemed like I could pretty much make any painful subject very funny, and so I've never had a problem with that.
At Mama Aisha's, a Palestinian restaurant in Washington, D.C., Obaid said his work is often fueled by what others aren't saying or won't say.
There is certainly a void in stand-up on certain topics, specifically Palestine. The fact that that void is there is very motivating for me to be like, oh, if nobody's talking about it, I will. And I feel that way about any subject that people don't really touch.
The Palestinian-American comedian grew up in Northern California, where his interest in politics took root.
I love being Palestinian because it's the one identity you bring up and it's instantly controversial.
Growing up, I kind of I had to learn gradually that I was Palestinian because...
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think I asked what ethnicity I was to my parents until I was maybe like 10 or 11. My parents started inviting me to like pro-Palestine protests and vigils. So I became more aware of it in my 20s. And then I started stand-up, and at that point it was already like kind of my identity.
He was drawn to the voices willing to lean into the uncomfortable.
I think the first one that really inspired me was Chris Rock. I watched a special of his when I was 15, and this is when I became tangentially aware of politics.
So when you white, the sky's the limit. When you black, the limit's the sky.
Just learning about what politics were and like what was going on in the world, and then seeing him make it funny, I was like, whoa, that's so cool.
Obaid first got national attention for a 1,000-day streak of consecutive comedy performances in 2013, culminating in a late-night booking on Conan.
Crazy, because I'm Palestinian, my roommate is Jewish, so we're always fighting over his room starts and mine ends.
But millions of people have seen Obaid's work in a new surge of interest, fueled by his jokes about Palestine and a string of viral moments like this one.
Palestinians or the Gazans there voted for Hamas.
Let's say 80% of the voting population showed up, so that's 20% of the total population now, and 40%. What's 40% of 20%? Come on, you may not be on the side, you gotta be on the side of math, right? It's 8%. At most, 8% of the people living in Gaza voted for Hamas.
You detoured your show for an hour to engage with this person.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because it was really hard to not address the elephant in the room, which was that she was making some very bold claims that were arguing against some of the basic premises that I was setting up for my jokes. And so I wasn't just gonna like let that sit there. I had to like say something.
Really, I treat comedy about Palestine like an illegal settler does land of the West Bank. Like if I don't take this, someone else will.
You also joke sometimes about Palestinians having what you call a dark sense of humor.
Very much.
Is that true?
I still think people don't understand how dark of a sense of humor Palestinians have and how necessary it is for us to deal with what we see on a daily basis. Sometimes during my show, I'll tell a dark joke and like people be like, oh, you know, do I laugh at this? And then I'm like, look at the Palestinians, and they look at the Palestinians and they're just busting up laughing. I'm like, it's okay, like this is how we cope.
Say hi to everybody here.
His fans in Gaza are watching. One even FaceTimed in during his DC show.
We appreciated everything you do for Palestine and for Gaza.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Shukran.
But it's another fan in Gaza who Obaid says he's in touch with almost every day and whose family he's been helping after connecting online.
His house was bombed in November 2023, and him and his family of 18 who lived in that house had to evacuate. They recently had to evacuate from their tent, and so now they're living under a piece of nylon on the beach. Now they're just living day by day on the little food they have. I've watched him like grow thin. I mean, it's just, it's insane. It's insane that they are the lucky ones, and they are living a life that anyone here in America would go crazy just experiencing for one day.
That connection inspired Obaid to launch a platform called Pal Collective, allowing people to link with and support a family in Gaza however they can.
They can essentially be your adopted family. You can basically like talk to them on a daily basis, you know, send them money, whatever you feel comfortable doing. Or if you want to like provide like therapy services, or if you're like a doctor, you want to give free medical consultations, you can basically sign up to do that.
On stage, Obaid somehow continues to find a way to make light of dark topics.
I wish I could be telling people about A squared plus B squared equals C squared. But I'm out here trying to put out A's fire. I'm trying to put out B's fire. And that requires a C's fire. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Do you ever reach a point where you're like, okay, this is too much. There's no way to make people laugh about what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely days where it's just so dark. What happens is so dark. The news that comes out of Gaza is so dark. But I will say, to be honest, like most things, I can kind of find a way to talk about it while also like making humor.
And that's a lot of pressure to try to make people laugh about very heavy topics.
I definitely have felt the toll from this just emotionally as a person. I have these people who come to my shows and will listen to what I say every night. And so I feel like I have my form of therapy. So as long as the world is functioning the way it is, you know, unfortunately, I'm going to have to be talking about it for a while. I would love it to stop immediately. But when it stops, you better believe I'm going to be doing math theorems.